So some of the risks that I see in this area, and of course we're kind of at the dawn of use of aerial vehicles, unmanned aerial vehicles and drones. But in the first instance, people think about the first party exposures. How much does the drone cost and how much does the payload cost? And the payload would include anything that the drone is carrying. So it's the camera, it's the imaging equipment, it's possibly software that's on the drone. So it's usually the payload that's expensive. Having said that, a lot of times people are not really thinking about insuring the value of the drone and the payload, because this may be $2,500. Expensive equipment might be $10,000 to $20,000. So then what I think people think about really more is the liability, the third-party exposures. So from a third-party perspective, we're really concerned about bodily injury or property damage. So of course that's bodily injury to people on the ground, say if the drone falls out of the sky, or property damage again to somebody else's property. The other things that I think people need to think about with regard to drones include the concerns about invasion of privacy. There are potentially cyber risks, because if you're talking about a commercial use of drones, then the drone's being used to gather information. It may be video, it may be other kinds of information. So are you gathering information that people are going to think you should be protecting somehow? Are you adequately protecting it? There's also an interesting issue about whether people can hack into a drone system and get access through the drone maybe to other data or information that you're not thinking is really exposed because of the drone itself. So the frequencies that drones are using oftentimes are the same kind of frequencies that people are using for Wi-Fi. Can that be used then to get into some other kind of computer system that may have access to greater information or databases? And then there are some other possibly more esoteric exposures depending on the use of the drone. For example, intellectual property. Are people developing their own systems? And if they're doing that, are they using somebody else's intellectual property as base for the kind of systems that they're developing? So is there some kind of copyright, trademark, or other kind of IP infringement issue? So those are a lot of the general exposures that people think about in the first instance.